Hey everybody, how's it going? What's good? Pancheezey here, coming at you with a highly anticipated SH Figuarts Vegito review. So he's finally here, oh my god, and let me tell you, it was worth the wait. I've been looking forward to this figure for months, let me tell you, holy cow, and it did not disappoint. This thing looks freaking crisp. Oh my god, this thing looks so good. So before we go ahead and do anything, let's go ahead and take a quick tour around the box, obviously. So here we go, here's the front. Go ahead and soak that in, I guess. There's a warning label if you're into that. You've got a nice window going on where you can see obviously Vegito, as well as some of his extra faces, his arms, his hands, and the spirit sword effect right there. As well as his hair too. There it is, just peeking out the corner. Here's the side, here's the other side. Here's the top with damn Comic Sans, god, why? Here's the bottom. Oh god. And here's the back. As always, if you want to go ahead and pause the video while I highlight all of these juicy details on the back, go ahead and feel free. Alright, so over here we got a bunch of Japanese text, stuff that I personally can't read, some stuff about the molding of the figure, some more information about the figure over here, general stuff about the line, and as always, he's movable. And that does it for the outside of the box. Now let's go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes of the video. Crack this guy open and see what this fig's all about. Alright, cracking him open. Taking him out. Yo, no, this guy looks so freaking cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go ahead and save the best for last. Let's go ahead and go over all the accessories first, and then we'll tackle the figure. So first up right here is his little hair piece. I guess this will just replace his entire head. You can see the peg right here. And this is just a Super Saiyan hair right here. Looks really good. I'll go over this in a little bit. Followed by a non-Super Saiyan laughing face, kind of looking off to the side. A serious Super Saiyan face, kind of looking straight ahead. Another Super Saiyan face, kind of screaming or yelling. And finally, a smirking Super Saiyan face, kind of looking off to the side like that. Next up, we have two grabby hands, two blast hands, a hand right here for the spirit sword attack, which looks really good. And right here we have the energy beam for the spirit sword. And finally a set of crossed arms, which are no stranger to the Dragon Ball SH Figuarts line. Oh, and right here is the moment we've all been waiting for, getting Vegito out of the package. Wow. He feels really good. Let me tell you, if you've never handled an SH Figuarts figure before, there's really nothing like pulling out a fresh SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figure out of the package. They just always feel so solid. I don't know if the line is just getting better, but this Vegito feels like an incredibly solid figure. Okay, so let's go over some articulation. First of all, his head is on a ball joint, so you can do all the cool stuff that a ball joint can do. You can go full 360, you can look up, not very high at all. Not much. Not much at all. But he can look down quite a ways because of his neck joint right here. So, moving on to his shoulders. You can go all the way like this, and then if you move up, you can do all these joints up here. There's a bicep swivel right here, which is really nice. Double jointed elbow-ish right here. The fist can swivel all the way around, and it's also on a hinge as well. And you don't want to forget about his sleeve articulation right here, which has become a hallmark in the Dragon Ball SH Figuarts line. Same thing goes for the other arm. You can also pull the torso apart so you can get a good crunch. Here it is looking forward, pretty nice. And here it is looking back, pretty nice as well. Pretty good looking. So moving on to his legs, you can always go ahead and pull these down like this so you can get some really nice movement going on in his legs. It goes up this high, whoa, it's pretty high, and goes this back. Wow, really nice. Of course, you can swivel the leg left to right because of this special hinge right here, which is really cool. It gives you some really nice movement, really nice dynamic range. Next up is the knee, which is kind of hit or miss, you know. It's still using the same Goku mold, and it's, you know, not 100%. We've seen it changed with the Trunks and even the Krillin mold, but the fact that they're still going with this Goku mold is kind of weird because they've experimented with different molds, but you know, it's not really that bad, but also there's room to improve it. Next up is the foot. It's on a ball, so you can get a nice little cool pivot there. You can also rotate it 360 degrees. And finally is the toe. crunch, toe articulation, whatever you want to call it. There it is. So that pretty much does it for the articulation of the figure. Once again, like I said, it's on the Goku mold, so the articulation isn't really groundbreaking here, but at the same time, they've gone ahead and tightened up, you know, a lot of the joints. Some of these don't feel as loose as earlier releases, and it just feels really solid. Like the joints in this specific figure, they just feel really tight, really responsive. Everything just feels really good. If you go back to my Android 16 review, I said that he felt really solid and all his joints felt really good. The same thing goes for this Vegito. SH Figuarts is really stepping up their game when it comes to these joints, and yo, that only means good things for the consumer. Aka, you and I. Now, when it comes to the quality of the figure, there are some pros and there are some cons. The cons being that maybe it might just be this specific figure, but there are some quality control issues. When it comes to the orange part in his gi or his uniform, there is a bit of blue bleeding out. And like I said, this could just be my specific figure. I'm not really sure. Also, when it comes to the mold of the grabbing hand, you can actually see that they actually just reused a regular hand instead of a gloved hand. And that's really apparent because you can see fingernails on the sculpt. Coming back to the paint, on the back here, you can see that the skin tone kind of has a bluish hue to it. Like I said, this could just be my figure. It could just be a very small pocket of quality control. Anyway, enough of the bad. Let's go ahead and end off with the good. And let me tell you, there's a lot of good things about this figure. First of all, let me go ahead and say that the new molds and the new sculpts that they're using are incredible. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, obviously, why would you not be if you're picking up this figure or watching this review? So if you've watched the show, then you've definitely noticed that the art style has changed. It went from more of a circular kind of art style, really soft edges, to a more angular and sharper edged art style. And it's almost as if the SH Figuarts line is following in their footsteps. Now, it might not be too apparent in the body mold, but when it comes to the head mold, you can definitely see the difference. Just look at his face, just look at his hair, just look at everything. The way his entire head is sculpted, everything is just more angular and more sharp. Everything just looks crisp. It's just insane. And when comparing it to even earlier SH Figuarts in the Dragon Ball line, it becomes more apparent. You can tell that Vegito's Super Saiyan hair is a lot more, you know, sharp and angular than Goku's Super Saiyan hair, Vegeta's Super Saiyan hair, even as much as Cell Saga's Super Saiyan Gohan hair. This is the most accurate Super Saiyan hair that we've probably seen in the line. Broly was really, you know, hitting that top mark, but I feel like this Vegito figure finally broke the mold and really showed us what these sculptors can do in such a small scale. And it doesn't just stop at the hair sculpt. Everything I said can be applied to the face as well. Everything about Vegito's face is just a lot more sharper and angular than earlier figures in the Dragon Ball Z SH Figuarts line, especially when you're comparing them to earlier Saiyans. One thing I did want to point out is we actually got a brand new boot and foot sculpt. The boot is much different than Vegeta's boot in his Saiyan armor and his later Saiyan armor. And we finally got a new foot sculpt that includes that gold plating that Vegeta in later costumes wears. So for all you customizers out there, that's just one less thing to worry about. And there you have it. There's the pros, the cons, the good and the bad, everything you need to know about the SH Figuarts Vegito figure. Like I said earlier, this is the new gold standard for when it comes to Dragon Ball Z SH Figuart figures. Like, this is a cut above the rest. I am being for real. Even though it does use the old Goku mold, there are so many good updates to the head sculpt alone, it makes this figure a must buy. Coupled with the fact that it comes with a whole bunch of accessories that range Super Saiyan and non-Super Saiyan Vegeta, that's just icing on top of the cake. And just like other Dragon Ball figures in the SH Figuarts line, the articulation is exactly what you need to go ahead and put him in those classic Dragon Ball Z poses. Everything is just great. I love this figure. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to know what I do with these figures, I have a show called Posing Ain't Easy where I go over articulated comic book art and basic figure photography, so go ahead and check that out. And if you guys like Dragon Ball Z, I got a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Z shows that are happening right here. If you guys are interested in anything I do on social media, all my social media links are right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.